Oh, How We Dance. An animated Spitfire flies over as a cityscape emerges. London, 1930s to 40s.
Betty Phillips.
And I remember going to a dance one night.
Two women in 40s vintage step into each other's arms and begin to dance.
And I was dancing with a girl who had been blinded in an explosive factory in Enfield. And she had a tray of Mills bombs, detonators blew up in her hand. She lost an arm, badly scarred face, blinded. But she danced like a dream. It was amazing. It was wonderful to dance with her. And she was leading. Though she was leading me, I was guiding her, if you know what I mean.
The dancers waltz through an illustrated ballroom.
But I had very, very fond memories. And what happened in there, they used to have a rope system in the town where they had different diameter ropes that the people could latch onto, which would take them back to where they were living.
Betty Harmash on Dancing with Low Vision.
Oh, but we learnt to dance. We had a gramophone in the hall and we learnt the polka, the waltz, the quick step, everything. And so when we had Christmas parties or something like that, or perhaps a Saturday evening thing with records playing, we danced to these records. I can remember doing the polka with another girl. Oh, wonderful. What joy, what thrill.
They smile, spin and bounce, a quick-footed swing dance.
I can remember coming home on the last tram. Can you imagine coming home in the blackout on the last tram? When you're young, you don't have all that fear and worry, really. You just want to enjoy your life, and that we did.
Side by side, one dancer flicks and kicks back and forth.
I always remember one night, and we'd been to a dance, because you had to still live, you had to have dances, and you couldn't just sit around and wait. When it was dark, and then there was a raid on.
Fading to a dark city skyline.
And then we heard the ack going, boom. And I remember Joan said to me, "Oh, sing One Fine Day, Bet."
Softly, feet tracing small, unhurried circles, the women revolve in hold, closely connected.
And I can remember doing this, one fine day. And she'd never, ever forgotten it. She always said, "Oh, do you remember when..." It was quite funny, really.
We settle on their faces, standing shoulder to shoulder.
Sad times with people who were killed and so many losses during the war and when the planes went down. But you just had to carry on living, really.
A grainy white silhouette of a woman sitting in a tram carriage.
I was coming home on a tram, and I think it must have been around about October, November 1950. I got on the tram and then this young man got on behind me. I think he wanted to know where to get off at a certain point. Nobody knew, and I turned around and said, "Oh, I've forgotten where he wanted to go or whatnot," but I told him what to do and where to change.
The couple stand together in the street.
And I got off the tram at Streatham Hill, and he got off at the same stop, which he shouldn't really have done, because he was going further. He got off the same stop and stood and talked to me. He said, "Could I see you?" He had quite a strong accent. And I said, "Oh, well, no. Could I see you tomorrow?" I said, "Oh, no, I'm washing my hair or did something, some excuse."
A heart beats between telephone wires.
But anyway, it finished up with me giving him my telephone number, and he rang me the next day. We arranged to meet at it's a dance hall in Streatham Hill called the Locarno.
A photo of the Locarno exterior. A couple hold hands on the steps.
We met outside there, and we had a very pleasant evening. And we seemed to get on well and chatted quite nicely. And then we said goodnight. He saw me back to my home, and
a crowded dance hall.
And we saw quite a bit of each other for the next few months. And I suppose our budding romance matured or whatever.
A heart beats and fades. A pink wash revealing white text. Oh, how we dance. London, 1980s to 90s.
Mix Scarlet.
And I started clubbing when I was about 15. I've always been disabled, but up until I was 15 I could walk, and I walked with a limp, with a caliper on, and this was during punk, so it was probably the coolest accessory that any of my teenage gang had.
An animated leather-clad punk with a mohawk wheels in.
Then at 15 I had a spinal collapse, which meant I became a full-time wheelchair user.
Animated figures dance and strut.
And started off with goth clubs and alternative clubs, which is things like the Electric Ballroom and the Slimelight.
Textured animations pulse with club energy.
And then started discovering the joys of the growing rave scene.
Paint drips in colourful layers.
The people that you met were always really glad to see you, really welcoming. Of course there were the occasional.
A finger hits a sound slider, pushing it louder.
When the rave culture took off, I cannot explain what that, say, decade was like. It was so joyous. Even today, if I hear specific dance tracks, I can feel that joy coming back, and it was a real leveller. Before clubs, we were all alternative. We all dressed like weirdos and goths and God knows what, and we would regularly get beaten up or attacked or chased.
This is London 2 by Mentor Chico. Colourful abstracted figures, punks with mohawks strutting in high heels, a red telephone box, a textured impression of cultural life.
And we went to massive, like, warehouse-sized venues filled with pretty much almost entirely just casual people, the people that only 5 years earlier would have kicked the out of us. And everybody got on, and it was a wonderful time. I never really went to too many of the illegal raves because I could almost definitely guarantee they weren't going to have a toilet I could get in, and wheeling across a muddy field is not my idea of a night out.
In Chico's This is London 1, a face settles into its place among the layered figures, a city of coexistence, bodies, identities, cultures all sharing the same space.
Places like Bagley's, the Channel Club, when Ministry opened, going to Ministry a lot because I did a lot of work with Ministry to try and make the venue as accessible as it could be. And it was probably one of the first mega clubs that did something about access. On the actual weekend, after the Disability Discrimination Act came into force, my wife and I and a big gang of us went to about 4 of our regular haunts, and I was turned away from all of them because they didn't have the right access provision.
A bouncer's raised palm, entry denied.
When I was clubbing and going places, what I did was really put myself out. And I mean, you know, going to the Hippodrome, I mean, that was hilarious. I used to crawl up, go through the front door, go up a flight, up another flight, up a flight, then get in my chair, then wheel across, then go down 2 flights, and that would be 1 flight from the dance floor. So I'd then go down another flight, and then I'd get in my chair on the dance floor. And I've been doing this for about a year. And then one of the security guards went, "Come with me." And we went around the side, and he opened the door, and this emergency door opened directly onto the dance floor. And I was like, you've watched me crawl up and down this. But that was, you know, over 30 years ago. And it's kind of time that isn't the case.
Crowds of clubgoers build around a dancing wheelchair user.
I mean, I still now go out a lot. I mean, I write for a music magazine, so I'm going to gigs and sort of live performances and club nights and stuff. And I still find that probably 50% at least of the places that I am asked to go, I can't go. But yeah, I mean, I think that's it. I basically just want us to be in a world where you can go out and do stuff like everybody else.
A gold ink wash revealing white text. Oh, how we dance. The Dream nightclub.
We asked a group of community co-producers disabled people with an interest in London's nightlife, what their dream nightclub would be like. The following artworks are their personal responses. We invite you to experience them with openness and curiosity.
Welcome, a poem by Georgine.
We step in from the cold pavement to be welcomed by the warm embrace of the club. The subtle bass tones that find their way to the entrance are actually calm. There's no light that's too bright, it's just right. No flash, no race, no fight or flight. No, just right. Half in, half out, this place has many spaces. We are welcome here tonight.
Artwork by JINGYI. A darkly atmospheric painting. The background is a textured wash of charcoal grey. In the foreground, two white stylized deer adorned with small black polka dots face each other symmetrically, their bodies curving inward, nearly merging at the centre. Between them sits a small martini glass containing tea and a tea bag. The image feels balanced, surreal and slightly unsettling.
Nightlife is where you try a different version of yourself. A night out is where you're supposed to take a bit of risk, enjoy a bit of freedom, and figure out who you are and what you can be. My dream nightclub is a space that understands care and access are safety nets for people to go absolutely wild. People really responded to the martini glass with the tea bag. I think it really speaks to our desire to experience thrill with care built in. Like, you are allowed to try and flirt with uncertainty and make mistakes, and it's not a big deal. I think that's what a good night out is supposed to feel like.
Video creation and editing, Sophia B. Videography, Guillaume Baker.
It starts with my eyes closed, feeling the music in my body. It goes to a dream sequence of me dancing with another friend who's dancing, and we're both wheelchair users. And then it cuts to me dancing on my own amongst a crowd, and then back to myself and my friend dancing together again. I made it because you don't really see wheelchair users dancing out and about in clubs or in public. I wanted to show that, we're wheelchair users and we exist, and we wheelchair users who want to go out and dance and enjoy nightlife. I feel like this is one way of making sure we are visible. Make more venues wheelchair accessible. List your accessibility of venues on websites. That's a huge thing. It enables people to make choices rather than feel left out. Going out is part of living.
Collage by Leila Khan.
My dream nightclub was kind of like a combination of like a Gothic library with stained glass windows and bookshelves. At the centre of the collage is a woman reclining on really comfy cushions. It looks like she has a book in her hand. I suppose a place of sanctuary. And I hope that what kind of comes across in my collage is that kind of sense of energy and excitement when you're young. The older we get, we can look back on a time when it feels like we were different people, but we're not different people, we are the same. Hopefully we've got a little bit more wisdom and compassion for ourselves and for others as well.
The Dream Nightclub by Leila Khan.
As the dance floor shimmers, you are transported back to 1986. Everything is shiny and new. Rubbing shoulders, new romantics, new wave, goths, post-punk. Then the intention was to be seen, admired, a time of experimentation, boundary testing on the high altar of hedonism, bacchanal revelry taken to excess. But there was always something sinister stirring in the shadows that no amount of full moon contemplation could disperse. Dreaming of ornate bookcases overlaid with stained glass illuminating the tree of life. The invitation now is to peer inside your Gothic architecture. What do you see? Your own alchemy from lead to gold, bringing the inside, outside through rejuvenation, restoration, repose. Frankie says, relax.
Shine painting and song by Lou Hall. A painting with a vivid blue background containing multiple, hazy, curving forms. To the centre left, a glowing red form of curling lines contains a bright circular shape. The form is soft-edged and fluid. White, foamy waves surge along the bottom of the image, whilst another large, green, curved form rises on the right. The composition feels dynamic, with strong contrasts between neon reds, deep blues, and luminous greens.
I wanted people to go away with the idea that you could learn more from us by diving in and experiencing with us than you could by standing back and thinking you know what needs fixing. Offer me what you can with your sight, but then also to be open to experiencing what I'm offering you with my different seeing. And our whole city is just teeming with people with all sorts of different needs and abilities. And we're all bringing all of ourselves to that as best we're able, and that's what makes it such a magical place to live.
Dance me to the stars that I no longer see. Trace the constellations on the dance floor with me. Whisper close a waltz of galaxies divine. Close your eyes and let me show you how the shadows shine.
In Response to No Entry Signs, a poem by Chloë Clarke.
You are the descendant of that. Screamed at a flight of stairs into a basement disco. You came from meters of rope twisted into buildings, veins vibrating across cities, back to one beat. From problem solvers and thinkers, from me plus you equals sisters, from if you carry me, I'll carry you, from let's have another round or two. So you be ballerina, you plie against pillows, you move against mattress. You sofa salsa, you finger dancer, you feel that rhythm in your bones and know where it first called home.
Rave and Refresh, poem and digital artwork by Michelle Felix.
Cream leather throne, cinema soft and bright, with dining tray set ready for the night. Deep drink holders, cocktail tall, wine secure. A call for service that's swift and sure. A tablet rises, order, read, explore. With screen reader voice or magnify the menus galore. Smart chair reclines, warms or adds cooling breeze. Selection of massage options to relax with greater ease. Headphones offer choice. Come dance or drift. Club pulse and music, or ocean sounds that lift. For energy, for calm, your time, your way. This seat says, you belong, you're welcome to come and stay.
Digital artwork by Jessica Rose Stillwell. A bold image on a dark blue background with a large moon-like circle held aloft by raised human arms. One arm raises a fist, suggesting unity and protest. Large white text within the moon reads, joy, self-expression, belonging. Along the bottom, in yellow, the word resistance, encircled by small figures holding hands, suggesting celebration and unity.
From Mick Scarlett, the following message.
Bring back London's nightlife, be the ones that do it. And this could be our moment. We could take over the whole of London's club scene, like Daleks invading London.
A green ink wash revealing white text.